Hi, I'm Steph from Stitching with Steph, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing our large canvas Stitch With Me. We are on week 3. It is by Classical Cross Stitch. It is a koi and peony design. It is 11 count, 91 by 181 centimeters, and it is 57 colors. I do not have a link for this particular design, so go ahead and grab whatever koi cross stitch kit that you have, and we can begin this Stitch With Me together. Lastly, if you're a subscriber and you're returning to my channel for this Stitch With Me, thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming along with another Stitch With Me. If you're not a subscriber and this is the type of content that you like, go ahead and click that like button. If you like this image, click that subscribe button as I post this content frequently, and then go ahead and leave a comment of where you're watching from. One last thing besides that is I'd like to let everybody know that I do have a Facebook group for our little community that we have here. If you want, there is a direct link down below for that group. It'll take you straight to it. And then we also have a link for viewer submissions if you want to do any submissions into my videos. So let's go ahead and get started along with this Stitch With Me. Okay, friends, on to another week of stitching on my large koi cross stitch. We're going to be working on color number 28 today. I did go ahead and do a lot of parking of my stitches. I can go ahead and kind of pan my camera so you guys can kind of see. So I do use these here to kind of keep track of my stitches. It's just easier on a larger canvas for me. So yesterday I parked, I don't know, probably about 20 or so on my actual canvas. So I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle. As you can see, it's sitting right here. And I am going to unwind my thread holder here. And it's actually pretty easy. All you do is like hold your thread and then just pull. I work on this particular canvas on the weekend. So Saturdays, Sundays, I work on this one. And then I work on regular canvases, like my Stitch With Me canvases, during my Stitch With Me's, because I'm really focused on my one-piece canvas right now, just because I want to get that done for my husband's birthday that's coming up in a few months, and I've actually made some pretty good progress on there. I'm kind of surprised. Sorry if you're seeing my canvas move. I'm just winding up my, see, look, I'm just winding up my spool here. I got these spools, in case anyone wants to know, from Dream Stitch. So if you're not in the U.S., or if you're in the U.S., okay, paying the tariffs, you can get them there. I think you can find these on Amazon too, but to be honest, you're going to probably pay an arm and a leg anyway. So, okay, we're going to be doing this right here. Sorry, I'm going to reposition you because I moved you around a bit. Going to go ahead and thread my needle, and then we'll get to working. What did everybody do this weekend? I just hung out and got caught up on chores, and honestly, not just chores, I got a lot done on my canvases too, so it was pretty nice. Oh, see, I pulled 28 out for us to do a Stitch With Me, and then I'm doing 39 later, so I'll probably get back to that for our next Stitch With Me. And I'll probably finish this out today. Today is a weekday for me. I do get 4 days off a week, so I do get to do quite a bit. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay, so I had this as a new thread that I parked. So I park all my threads down in the bottom left-hand corner so I know what color they belong to when I do the parking method. So if you guys want a tutorial, it's really not hard, to be honest, when I do my parking method. I just pick colors in the same area. Like this weekend I worked on 3 colors here. And this particular canvas, it kind of stinks, to be honest, right now, because From line like 87 and up this way, it's printed like a half of square off in some areas. So it's taken me a little bit longer to knock out this section, but I know that going forward, I shouldn't have any issues. Hopefully I won't have any issues. It's just I've been using my like paper pattern a lot more, and that's a little, I prefer when the paper pattern does match the actual canvas. It's just easier when you have to reference it. So my paper pattern does not, in fact, match this one. So it takes me a minute to look up the section. Sorry, I'm rethreading my needle. It came undone. So it takes a minute for it to find the symbol and then match it to what's on my canvas. So it just takes me a little bit to try to locate it. But overall, I think it's coming out nice. Also, everyone always asks me, like, what do you do with all these when you're done with them? And I'm like, you do know, as long as you stitch good quality products, like you can sell these, right? Like people will pay for you to stitch these. They're called like commission pieces. Sometimes you can like sell them already done, and then there's sometimes like you can put patterns up on websites and sell the pattern completed, saying like, hey, I have these for sale, I can finish them for you, or you can do it, these are the prices. And you can do commissioned work that way too. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I feel like something is stuck on the back. Okay, so you're going to see firsthand how I fix this. Oh, there's my Tootsie. Sorry, guys. This is where my day's going today. I have to fix this because I got a knot in the back, so bear with me here. So you get to see how the floor looks like underneath my stand. I got a little knot in the back. Sorry, guys. You're off camera for a second, and my mouse and my computer is a little bit far away from my stand. All right, here we go. We're coming back into frame. There you go, friends. Sorry, you got free foot pics, guys. And yes, I am stitching in my pajamas because why not? And now I lost my threader. I'm struggling today, guys. I'll have to find it. I lost it when I flipped my canvas, I think. Maybe it's down here. I don't know. All I know is I'm struggling today, and today's one of my filming days, so I'll look for it after the video's done. I always keep extras on hand just for this reason. So anyways, yeah, back to the conversation. If you guys didn't know, you can sell these when you're done. And unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like, people won't pay an arm and a leg for them, but if you're just trying to unload them and recoup some money from, like, the cost of the canvas and supplies and stuff like that, then have at it. But just know they will not they won't pay like an arm and a leg, unfortunately, because people don't see like the value of how much time that goes into these types of projects. Yeah, that's the only downside, unfortunately. Has anybody else tried selling theirs? I've seen a couple people do them. There's an app called Teedo, Teedo, I believe it's what it's called. You could do commission pieces on there. It's mostly for like crafters, if anybody has seen that. And it's kind of like a Pinterest, if that makes sense, in a community. I thought it was pretty cool. I had to turn my alerts off because I was getting way too many alerts from that app. And I do stitch two-handed on when I have this canvas on a frame. I'm probably going to start stitching a lot of my stuff on frames. I'm just waiting for my order to come in, like the rest of my stuff from overseas. It's just been sitting in the ports. Luckily, they got into the States before all the tariffs hit, luckily, like I said. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this is all going to go down. I did spend time this weekend also organizing all my crafting stuff downstairs. So yeah, I organized all that stuff downstairs. I have some shelving units. So what I did was, if it was a company that I bought stuff from, I labeled it to be reviewed, and if it's a stamped or counted cross stitch. And then I have other shelving units of items that I've already reviewed for you guys, and then like my old, like my stash that I had before I started YouTube. So that's what I did this weekend. That was one of my big projects. Hope you guys can see okay. From my feedback that I'm looking at, looks pretty good. I'm going to adjust my clarity. I'm going to pause you guys for a second here, okay? Okay, let's see. There we go. So I can do autofocus on my camera. I just don't like how it's constantly trying to focus. So I just do it manually so you guys can see a lot better. I do have to say though, with me doing the spoolies over here, these little bad boys down here, it took a minute to get all my stitches parked. However, I love that I can just stitch, 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 and then I don't have to really worry about like looking for colors and all the things. That's what I like about it. I like that I have all my colors in this section that I'm working on here. And of course, you know, if I run out of thread, I have to pull it back out. But like I have this one parked here for our next stitch with me, because I do several stitch with me's out like one time on this canvas, because it's just it's on a big standing frame, and it's kind of hard to get it set up every week to get it filming. I might do my next stitch with me with no talking, so that way we can just knock out some of the canvas for about an hour, and then we just have some like tranquil music. I know some people like those kind of videos, and I feel like if I did a couple of videos a week like that, you guys, I think there would be people that would actually enjoy it versus just talking all the time. I know there are some people that like talking videos, so I'll still be doing those, but I'll probably be doing my large koi one going forward might be no talking, just because it's such a big project to talk through, and I do about an hour typically with you guys on this canvas, because this, again, this one is my weekly project I do focus on. And then my husband's one piece one. I won't be doing a lot of stitch with me's on the one piece one, just because that's like my side project. I'll do like once in a while here for updates for you guys, so you guys can kind of see what the progress is, but I really gotta focus on it, to be honest with you, because if I don't, we're in trouble here, folks. because it won't be done in time if I don't focus on it. One of my coworkers was laughing at me because I was sitting a patient, which means I was sitting in their room. And I just had to make sure she didn't get out of bed. Well, bless her cutie patootie little heart. After she fell asleep, I kind of just sit there twiddling my thumbs. So my job is just to make sure she doesn't wake up and fall out of the bed, because she could have hurt herself really bad. And there's medical reasons why we couldn't have her falling, if that makes sense. I can't really say much besides that. So I had my little project in my bag that I normally work on my breaks, and I was like, well, I'll just work on this. So one of my nurses came in. She goes, are you doing okay in here? I was like, yeah, I'm doing fine. Why? She goes, wow, you're going to get that project done in no time for your husband's birthday, aren't you? I was like, at this rate, if I had to sit all the time, yeah, like, definitely would agree with you on that. I mean, and I did. I knocked out quite a bit that night. I knocked out like almost a whole section that night while I was sitting the patient. Sorry, I was pulling on I had a little knot in the back. Apparently I let go of my thread too soon. So yeah, she was like giggling because they see me always working on my projects on my lunches. And they're like, geez, you're going to get a whole couple of hours in at this rate. But the lady I was watching, she would wake up probably like every 30 minutes to an hour, and then I would calm her down and get her back to sleep, and then I'd get like another like 30 minutes to an hour in. So it's not like I got to stitch like consistently. I did have some work to get done. I just hear my husband downstairs shouting, kennel, 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 kennel. He must be getting ready to take our other son to school. On the days that I film, there's one day that he has off that I film. So I try to knock out as much as I can when he's home, because he can pick up the kids and stuff for me. So it's kind of nice. We tag team. But the rest of the week, he'll drop them off in the morning, and I pick them up in the afternoon. And you do see that this is a little loose, because I prefer to have my canvases not super duper tight on my big ones, just because I want consistency in my stitches is all. So as you can see, I stitch kind of slow on my canvases that are on. Oh, here's a prime example. Sorry. I stitch a little slow on my canvases that are on frames. So here's what I mean by like it being off by a little. So if you look right here, see how this is one stitch and there's one stitch, and it's off by like a half. So I have to move everything over one stitch, half a stitch. So like this black belongs in this square. So I didn't realize when I first started this project that the top part was off. I just started on the edge where it was supposed to be at, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. I know I didn't mess up anything, luckily, because I caught it relatively fast. But yeah, that's what I mean, like what I'm working with. So I kind of have to stitch kind of slow. And then I have to, like in this area here, because these are like little check marks, I have to kind of look to see like how many are there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that there's 6 stitches there, right? So when I have those off like that, like I just gotta double check myself. So like this one here, I know that this symbol goes here, so I know I need to go up 1. So I definitely can't be stitching this when I'm tired, if that makes any sense. I definitely have to do it when I am alert and I've had some caffeine in me and my meds are working good, because I can't like unfortunately, in this section, like right here, because there's a lot of confetti, but it's kind of weird because when I move over this way, so this way, when I move over that way more on my canvas, it's a little bit easier. It's just this corner right here that's a little wonky, and I'm thinking it's because this was the edge of, because I have a salvage edge. I'm thinking it's because it was on this, like the rod or whatever it was for the printing. It wasn't just fastened tight enough in this corner, kind of like how I have it a little loose here. It might have been that way when it was printing. So yeah, no biggie. I can still work with it. It's a beautiful piece, so I'm not too concerned about it, to be honest. I'm able to fix it myself. It's just, I can't even remember how much I paid for this, because that's how long I've had it in my stash. And I was, again, when I very first started cross-stitching, I fell in love with it. And then like the rest of us, we go and buy all the things, right? And I go and buy all the things, not realizing, like, guys, you're not going to believe this. I lost another threader. It's a good thing I'm in my crafting room because I know they're in here somewhere. Okay, I'm on my third one in like 20 minutes, I think. So for me, it's like, I was so excited that I found something that I actually enjoy, right? So I bought things that I thought the images were pretty, and some of them did come with a little bit more work. And this was one of those ones that I was like, oh, like I can work my way up to this size. And then when I got it and I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is kind of big. Like, I don't want to do this one at first with having minimal like experience with it, just because I'm putting my, so if you see shadow, sorry, I'm reaching back and forth to my desk. I was putting, like, I didn't want to put a lot of time and effort into it and then it not come out pretty. And then it's like, I just wanted it to be nice, if that makes sense. So yeah. Oh, there goes my garage door. My husband must be taking the car. So I don't know if you guys can notice the difference in the lighting, and we don't have glitching anymore in our filming. I figured out, I mean, I had good lighting before, but my camera would like, so before I used to have to like keep things in the screen and whatnot, and it would kind of glitch. It does it from time to time because I have a green screen feature on my camera, which is nice. But I got new lighting and it's like amazing, to be honest. It was lighting that I used with, like I do e-commerce. Yep, my husband took my car. My cell phone just connected to CarPlay. Sometimes he takes my car because I don't drive much. I only drive to pick the kids up to and from school. I go to and from school and then to and from work. Like, my car is like 4 years old and I have 30,000 miles on it. So we normally take his car everywhere because it's bigger. I mean, my car's big too, but we normally take his car everywhere for like grocery shopping and stuff like that. Anyways, back to my lighting. Isn't it wonderful? I have lighting in like from 3 different angles now. So you guys shouldn't get, like, you guys should have clear like video from me, being able to see a lot better now. And like I said, I do live feedback on my monitor. My monitor is actually really big, so I can see the quality of the video that I'm doing. Last week when I did all of my videos, unfortunately, I was a little sick from my allergies. Correction, not sick. I was having symptoms from my allergies, and I had one of my followers tell me, I can't really hear you. And I was like, I'm sorry. I tried turning up, like adjusting my audio as good as I can. I was just, if I was to talk at my normal volume, I was getting like cracking in my voice and raspy. So I couldn't talk very loud in my last videos. So this week, I'm doing a lot better, as you can tell. I've taken my allergy pills every night before bed. I didn't fall asleep without taking them, and I don't have like a runny nose and stuff like that. I don't feel really dry and parched today like I was those, I think it's like 2 or 3 days, because I had to break my filming up into several days because my allergies just were not getting better, y'all. Like, I'm like, why is this post-nasal dripping like so bad? Sorry guys, I'm getting a sip of coffee. So yeah, today is a good day. Summer vacation's almost here. I have my final in class due on Monday, which it's a proctored exam online with what's called the lockdown browser. So what that means is it can tell if people cheats, which honestly, our class is like an open notes book, a open notes and test, and he allows you to take it up to 3 times if you get a grade that you don't want. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's up with these younger generation kids, but I'm like, we have so much information at our fingertips and you can choose to learn, but they choose to cheat instead. I guess it just amazes me that they choose to do those things. You know what I mean? Like, why are we choosing to do that, guys? Today's also the day, like I said, my husband's off, so we do lunch dates on today, because then we don't have to drag the kids with us, and or like ask the oldest to babysit. It's kind of nice. So it's still like early in the morning. Like I said, my husband's doing carpool right now, dropping all the kids off and whatnot. So it's very early in the morning. Stephanie's wide awake. Yeah, it's nice. I like having so many days off. And again, school does take up quite a bit of my time, but I try to get studying in where I can. So when it comes to my studying, that and my family always will take precedence over my crafting and my YouTube. So I kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone with my YouTube. Like, if I want to work on a project for like 30 minutes, I'll just sit down and film it right quick. See, here's another example. See how it's like half off? So I know that symbol moves over to the left a bit. So, yeah. Hold on. Yep. I was like, it feels like there is a knot in the back. I'm going to pause you for a second and get this knot out because, my feet were already in the video once. 1 second, guys. All right, guys, I already fixed it. I had to snip the actual knot because when I pulled it over or turned my frame over, it was actually a triple knot. And I'm like, nope, not dealing with this today. Again, I'm the type of stitcher. If I can get the knot out relatively easy, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But if it's going to take me 20 minutes to take it out, that little bit of thread isn't worth saving to me. Well, it's just not. I know some people will do it, but I am not the one. I will not do it. So most of the time I 2-hand stitch for that reason, to keep the knots out, but sometimes I'll forget, especially like when I'm talking, forget about it. Your girl will definitely forget about it. Does anybody else stitch on large frames and do two-hand stitching, or is everyone like a single-handed stitcher? It goes by, I wouldn't say it's faster, but it can be as long as you catch your knots and you can find the holes for each one. Yeah, it's not too bad. Might just wait to get to the bottom of this row for us. Maybe call this stitch with me a done, and then next week I'll just probably do this one. I'll try to finish up this little bit of area here. We'll see. Yeah. I did do an audio test before I did this video to make sure that it was recording well and stuff like that. Yeah. I got wireless mics for my larger canvases, which is nice. Because even though I'm close to my desk for my camera, where my camera's mounted, because I have what's called a gooseneck, I'm able to move like my camera and stuff around as needed. It's not like necessarily fixed. It is mounted to my desk, but the camera in itself can kind of move. Sorry, it came unthreaded again. I'm the queen of unthreading, if you couldn't tell. It's like in a crafting resume, they're gonna be like, what are you good at? Unthreading my needle and getting knots, even though I spin my needle and do two-handed stitching. I know there's several. Oh, and breaking of needles too. So there's this. I think I'll just finish this row and then call this video done. It's probably about 35-ish minutes from my timer. I say 35-ish because I like my intro and my outro, and like when I always do like an information intro to all of my videos, so that way anybody that watches my videos, they know the specs of my canvas and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, so then this one is jumping 2. Oops, sorry. Kicked my stand, moving around. I don't like how loose that one is. There we go. Okay. All right, this row is pretty much done. All right, friends, that concludes this Stitch With Me for our large Koi and Peony stamped cross stitch kit, week 3. If you stood all the way till the end, thank you. I really appreciate you coming along with this journey with me this week. If you're my subscribers, thank you for hanging out with me today. I look forward to seeing you guys in another Stitch With Me. If you're not a subscriber and you like this type of content, go ahead and click that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I do have a Facebook group, Stitching with Steph. The link is in the comments. I also have a TikTok and an Instagram, and it's stitching_with_Steph. Thank you for coming along. Again, I appreciate every single one of you that hung out with me today. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.